welcome to episode 57 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who knows that Obi-Wan Kenobi is his only hope. Coming to you from Tatooine, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and let's welcome to the show, longtime listener, a huge contributor to the community, and a loyal Patreon to the show, Brieanne. Bree, say hello.
Hi, everyone.
We are so glad to have you here. I've been looking forward to having you as a guest for a long time. Bree was my secret guest that I kept talking about for a couple of weeks. We were trying to coordinate with her to get her on the show, and I'm so excited that you're here. I think this is going to be really, really a lot of fun. And I also want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there who's joining us, and as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, Tom Higgins, Patricia Baisden, Bree, Jen Ben, and Elliot Feldy. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to and want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. We're hoping to have a Patreon event sometime in January, where it will be an exclusive event. More details to come on that, but you definitely want to join the team. There are other ways you can be more involved with the show also. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it's a great way to stay in touch with me and the other members of the community. So come and join us. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. The kingdom's always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded on Thursday, December 26th at around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Whew. Intro's done. Out of the way. Show is on. It's time for our Weeks in the Kingdom. Bree, what have you got for us? How was your week in the kingdom this week?
It was a busy week. It was really busy. So I know we're going to get into more depth on the new content a little later, but I welcomed a lot of characters this week.
Yay!
Yeah, it was exciting. So I'm like a huge collector of things. So getting more stuff, more characters is always really fun.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty much leveling nonstop for, I don't know, it seems like a year. It's just, I finally leveled some, or maxed some characters out that I've been trying to max out for a while, like Big Hero 6 and Princess and the Frog. So I almost have those collections maxed, which
wow, nice.
is really good. Yeah, so especially with all those common tokens, it takes a time.
Yeah, sure it does.
Just sending people out 60 minutes. I've been trying to keep collecting for the new Frozen characters. And I enchanted some of the new buildings. I did not enchant any of the other buildings that I had this week. I've been trying really hard to get all the relics that I need for some of those other collections, like Finding Nemo. But the more collection, like the more attractions that we can enchant, I feel like the less chance you have of getting some of those relics. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a while to enchant some of those buildings, which would be really helpful. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing this week. It's been really busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been really fun too.
Mm-hmm, it has, yeah.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, for me, as obviously as you have also, I started the Star Wars storyline, Kingdom Quests. I did not have any Kingdom Quests. I had finished the whole storyline. Were you done with all the Kingdom Quests and prior to the Star Wars?
The only one I have is to welcome Dumbo, and I've had that one for, I don't know, it's been probably like 6 months or whenever Dumbo came out. I just haven't welcomed him yet. I think I'm just waiting to have a certain amount of magic where I feel comfortable spending that much to welcome him. So that's the only one I have.
Well, he's a big elephant, so he's a lot of magic to bring in.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was done though. I had mine completed, so it was nice to get some Kingdom Quests again. I did complete them all. Did you get through them and get the Star Wars land open?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. That
So
was exciting too.
yeah, that was
Yes.
really exciting, and it was super cheap. So
Yeah,
that's even better. They made it very accessible, not
I
only
was really
for people who've
surprised.
been yeah, for not only people who've been playing for 3 years, but for people who are just getting into the game. They made it very accessible.
Hmm.
So that's really really nice.
Yeah.
Um, the new land is gorgeous. I think they did a great job with it, and it's just really cool. So yeah, so I was able to welcome C3PO, and of course I did get R2D2, and I was able to unlock the Star Wars area, and then I also worked on a lot of side quests as well. Um,
For Star Wars.
uh, I did some of the Star Wars side quests, but I just had a large collection of side quests
Mhm.
just from other random characters like Rapunzel um, and Pascal had a joint
Mhm.
one together. I had like one from Flora, I think. It was just some
Mhm.
really random ones. So worked on some
Clear
of
those
those.
out.
Yeah. Building upgrades. I did not upgrade anything this week. Um, just kind of been holding off on the enchanting. However, I was lucky enough. There was a chest yesterday. No, yesterday was Christmas. So I don't know if it was today, one of these days recently, there was a daily chest, and I got 10 Star Wars relics in the
Oh,
chest.
wow.
It was like an attraction enchantment chest. I think we got. I don't remember what day it
Yeah.
was. It could have been
I
today.
got
I
mine today, but
Yeah, so it might have been today, and I got 10 Star Wars relics in it. So and
wow.
I had gotten 6 more through other chests, so I do have enough to get one Star Wars attraction enchanted. Um,
Woohoo.
yeah, super excited. But I think I'm gonna hold off and see whether the tread speeder base or the X-wing
Mm,
are going to be something I can use maybe for General Hux
yeah.
or something of that nature that will help with those characters because I'm already okay with what I have now. So let's hopefully I can get an advantage by
Mhm.
enchanting one of those quickly.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. So leveling, I leveled Star Wars characters obviously during the week, but outside of them, I leveled um, Hector
Hmm.
because he doesn't conflict because he only uses Coco characters. So he was safe to level, and again, we always have our safe to level infographic. Thanks to Matt
That's
Rodriguez, who is a huge help in the community.
super helpful. Yeah.
And then, of course, Allison Villa. So she always, as a moderator, gets that stuff posted up to the top. Um, so always make sure you check that out as soon as the newer chapters are released. We get that information updated. So as soon as General Hux is out, we'll have that updated safe to level list. So check it out. So I use that. So Hector, I've been collecting for,
Hmm.
and then
He
um,
takes a while.
yeah, he takes a while, which is why he's a good character to kind of do during these events because
Hmm.
you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
You're just kind of sending them and you're not thinking about it. When you're
Yeah.
working on someone and you're thinking about it and you're looking at every drop and you're like, oh, why didn't that?
Mhm.
It feels like those characters take longer. But
Yeah.
when you're just kind of leveling someone and they're like in the background and you're not even thinking about it, I feel like it makes it go faster.
Yeah. I like the collecting for those types of characters during events too, because you're right. It makes it seem like it goes a lot faster.
Right. So, so I did him. I also did uh, the Chief Tui
Mhm.
from Moana because I had about 5 days left to go, or 4 or 5 days left, and I knew his tokens are uncommon, so I knew that
Mhm.
if I just kept sending people out, I would be able to blast through him pretty quickly. And he wasn't a conflict anyway, but I just wanted to, I just thought he'd be a safe upgrade, so I did him.
Mhm.
I did one or two 24-hour levels also to be a little bit more conservative, and that's about it. So I'm just about ready. I have all of my Star Wars characters ready to level right now, so I won't have any Star Wars conflicts going into the next chapter when we have to welcome
Mhm.
Hux. Um, so I'm just kind of wrapping up and kind of staying, holding in a holding pattern right now.
Right. That's where I'm at too. I have Finn and Poe ready to be leveled to 5. I think they're both at 4. So I'm just waiting as well
Yeah.
to
So
see what's
yeah.
next.
Yeah. So I have Poe at 4, Finn at 4, the Trooper at 3, CP30, C3PO at 3, and R2D2 at 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel pretty confident with those levels for now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, and then my lifetime visitors board. I am at 45,516, ever so close to the 45,000 mark, which is my next goal. Where are you? What is your rank on the lifetime visitors board?
So surprising, I found like I had posted, I think when I hit 50 or 50 million, I posted and I found out that my visitor score is actually pretty low for how long I've been playing. And I don't know the algorithm they use to figure that out. But I'm only at 56 million visitors and my rank is 34,600.
Okay, 34,600. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Good. Well, keep us posted on that. We got to keep working on that. All right. I'm gonna be watching
I'm
you.
to 60 million. That'll be exciting.
That is exciting. I don't pay too much attention to the number of park visitors. It's funny because one of our good contributors to our group, Joey G, he's all about the number of visitors and not really about the rank. And I'm all about the rank and not the number of visitors. Where am I? I'm at 49,288,354. So I'll be hitting 50 million soon. So that's a milestone.
It'd be really interesting to know how that's calculated, like how they calculate that, because like I said, I've been playing for 3 years in January, and I wonder if it's like how many times you log in a day or how long you play. I'm not sure how it's calculated, but
no,
I
actually spoke to GameLoft about this, and I got an answer, and I answered it in a previous episode. So don't quote me on this here, but basically what I was told is it has to do, like they couldn't give me the exact algorithm, but it has to do with the number of characters you have welcomed, not in the kingdom, but welcomed, the number of land you have unlocked, the number of attractions you have unlocked, and your progress in the storyline. Like all of that kind of stuff kind of takes into account. And a very important part that I got answered, which was very important, I thought, was that it doesn't matter if you're logged in, logged out, or how many times you log into the game a day. It does not affect that score. It's consistently going regardless.
That's so interesting because I like I said, I have all the characters, but Dumbo, I have all the land. Pretty much have all the attractions. I think there are a couple in Merlin's shop that I still need, but yeah, that's interesting. Did not realize that.
Yes. MTS McClure says she has 41 million, ranked about 3,995. Hillary's in the house, 58 million, ranked 31,674. Stacy's in the house, and Gavin. Hey guys, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. So good to have you guys here. All right, so let's see what else we have going on here. So that is basically it. That's my week in the kingdom. Sounds like we've had some great weeks in the kingdom. And now let's move on with the show with one of my favorite segments, the newcomer tip of the week. Brought to you by Bree. Bree, what have you got for us this week?
So this was something I wish I had done when I was new to the game. I think I didn't figure this out until, I don't know, maybe almost like 9 months or a year in. But I don't know why I didn't realize leveling up the characters was so important. So my tip is, as you get all the tokens for the characters, make sure you level them and don't sit on it and let them just sit there. Always keep leveling them as you can, because what happened for me was I didn't level a bunch of the characters, and then that's basically why I don't have a lot of magic right now, because I couldn't. Yeah, I've been spending all my magic leveling these characters, and things have gotten more expensive as the game has gone on. And you have to get a lot more tokens now for some of the characters. So I think that's my biggest tip. It's just as you're collecting and you get all the tokens you need, level that character up. And it's actually really important for later in the game.
Yes. Make sure you keep leveling. It is so important. It's one of the foundations of this game is to get your characters up, and you definitely want to make sure you focus on that, and unlocking land too. We're really talking, early on in the game, you want to get your land unlocked, because the more land you have, the more magic you can produce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a super good piggyback to your tip as well.
Yeah, I think I got to a point where I didn't have enough magic, so I was making decisions between unlocking the really expensive plots of land or leveling characters. And I see like on the groups that there are some, players that have a lot of magic stored up. And for having played almost 3 years, I'm like, how do I only have like 2 million magic? I know I only log in, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, but and a lot of my magic goes towards leveling the characters. I'm at a point where I'm leveling everyone to, almost everyone's at 8, 9. So I'm leveling up to the highest, and I'm always making a decision of like, ooh, can I spend,
Yeah.
all this money to level Peter Pan to level 8 now? Cause it's like 150,000.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Peter Pan and Shere Khan will drain your bank for sure.
That's why I only have him at like level 6 right
Yeah.
now. So.
When you're leveling, and you like, when you're doing some mass leveling, like you level one guy to 2, and then another for 2 hours, then another guy for 4 hours, then another guy for 1 hour, and then you're doing so many people at the same time, your magic just disappears. It goes
Really
so fast. But when you start to kind of stabilize in those quick level ups, and you're doing 8 hour, 16 hour, 24 hour levels up, it goes slower. But magic collection definitely has to do with how much you log in, and getting the right amount of concessions down, and how long the concession timer is. One thing you might want to consider, Bree, is if you're only logging in twice a day, you might want to look at what concession stands are 8 hour long concession stands.
That's true.
Because if you have 2 hour concession stands out, then you're only getting 75 magic each time you click one of them, right? And if you're only clicking them every 8 hours, you're losing out on 6 hours of magic production.
Yeah, and I think they've made a change to how the concession, they made that big change a few months ago to how the concessions were structured. So now they have star values, like 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. So I kind of swapped everything out by level of stars, thinking, the 5-star concessions are going to get more magic. But you're right, it doesn't matter.
They don't. The magic production has nothing to do with number of stars. It has to do with, when you flip it around, how many hours until it produces.
Yeah, so I probably do need to go back through and see what all I have, and swap that out.
Absolutely. Here's another newcomer tip of the week. We're on fire today. This game, make this game and adjust it to how you play. So if you are twice a day an 8 hour checker like Bree, you want to make sure that your concessions are like every 8 hours, so that you can maximize the number of magic that you get. For me, I'm like an every 2 hour checker. So I want to have 2 hour concessions out, right? So that I can maximize and I can just be blasting through magic. And I do. I mean, I have about 6 to 7 million magic just kind of sitting around now. I've unlocked everything, and I'm not worried about magic anymore, which is weird because I had been for so long.
That's a nice.
Yeah. But if you're a 4 hour player, you're checking it every 4 hours. You check it before work, you check it on your lunch break, you check it when you get home from work, you check it before you go to bed, right? Every 4 hours. Make sure that you have 4 hour type concessions and attractions and all those kind of things out to maximize how much you're getting per hour.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I should listen to that one too.
All right, good. Well, you're your contribution here is good use today. Our newcomers and our old-time players can learn something.
Yes, exactly.
All right, cool. Well, that's it for Newcomer Tip of the Week. We should say Newcomer Tips of the Week for this week. If you ever have a newcomer tip that you'd like to submit, you think that would be really helpful, you can always hit us up at ATK Podcast on Twitter or Facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Or write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. All right, let's move on into some of our show news. We have one thing to talk about here. And we had mentioned a contest was coming, and we had one. Our holiday contest was this past week in our Facebook group. And the contest was holiday themed, and it was to post a picture or a poem or anything, whatever it was, a drawing of whatever you thought the holiday season meant to you. There were some great submissions. Every submission was really good. And we actually had a tie. So there were two winners. So congratulations to Megan Albright with an adorable pic of her and her baby putting up ornaments on the tree. And to Michelle Hunter with an amazing hand-painted Christmas village, courtesy of her husband. So the winners got $10 gift cards to the platform of their choice. So Megan got an iTunes gift card. Michelle is going to be getting an Android gift card, and we still have a Windows gift card to give away. So I'm going to be looking for, going back now and looking for see who's in third. We're going to find someone in that contest, and we're going to give away a $10 Windows gift card as well, because we still have that left over. So congratulations to everyone there. There were some awesome stuff. Did you see the submissions? Did you see the other ones that are going in there?
I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't actually add anything to it, but I saw some of them and they were.
Yeah, I was waiting for your post.
I know. It's with the whole not feeling well and just it's been a kind of a crazy, a crazy time, especially around the holidays. So, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So that is the show news. So let's move on into what everyone's been waiting for, which is the game news. All right. So before we get into Star Wars and the Star Wars event, let's talk about some of the other things in the game that we want to talk about. First thing is that the Legendary Chest sale is on. So get them while the getting's good. I mentioned this last year. I took advantage of this. I had bought over Black Friday and all that stuff, iTunes gift cards that were on sale for 20% off.
Nice.
And now the Legendary Chests are 20% off. And every day is a different Legendary Chest. So you're getting 20% on top of 20%. It's a big savings. If you're going to buy some Legendary Chests, now is the time to do it. So I don't need any this year. Are you good on Legendary Chests? Are you going to be buying any?
I am not buying any. No, I have all the characters and I have all the attractions, so I don't really need any more concessions or anything. So
you know what you don't have?
What?
You don't have Elsa's Snow Queen costume, which is only available now in Frozen Legendary Chests.
You're right. I know.
Yeah. So that's a little tempting. So I'm not sure if I'll pull the trigger on it. I guess it depends on if it's kind of like when it'd be like one of those guaranteed like possibilities. But
yeah, if it was, then I might. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I've been buying quite a bit in the game lately, so I actually just got Elsa's holiday costume in a Frozen one during the Frozen event. So that was the only like costume I didn't have, and I had tried to get it one other time. I bought like a 6-pack of Frozen chests and I didn't get it, and then I finally got it. So
nice.
Yeah. So you're right. I do need that other costume.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they got you. But no, this is the time to get them. So I highly recommend if you're planning on getting chests, this is the time to get them. And if you're contemplating which chests to get, and one of the biggest highly suggested chests I could tell you right now would be Mulan, because as I mentioned, the Chinese New Year There's typically been some sort of Mulan event surrounding that, and that's at the end of January, and that's only a month away. It's just purely speculation, but I think something Mulan will be happening around then. So, and last year it was the only legendary chest I did not buy, and it totally messed with me during the Tower Challenge. But anyway, that's what I suggest.
Yeah, I was curious if it would be another January event, or if they were going to wait till March when the new Mulan movie comes out to do something.
Is that when it's scheduled for March?
I think so, the end of March.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Either way, whether it's the end of January or the end of March, a Mulan event is coming. So you can bet your bottom dollar on that one. So that's,
you got all those characters maxed, right? You said.
Yes, I worked on that, and they are all maxed out now.
Yay!
Yeah, Cricky was one of those characters that you just kind of have to let sit in the background and not think about, because his drops take forever.
Yeah, I actually have everyone maxed out but him. I need maybe 5 more of his hats, and then I'll be able to finish him too.
Good. That's good. Yeah, definitely want to finish that off.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so what else? So the Christmas chest was readdressed in the patch. I had talked about it in a previous episode about how they made it so that they changed the Sapphire chest from last year, where you were guaranteed to get a character or attraction. And then if you had everything, then you'd get 100 gems. This year, they made it so that all the attractions and things were in there. There were a couple that were missing, but they addressed that in the last patch. So all of the premium characters and attractions that were in there. There was also a chance to get 250 gems. They upped the gem count from 150 to 250. However, it wasn't guaranteed that you would get a character or a attraction, because you could get the gems. It was still on odds. So I wound up having a 50-50 odds to get the Ringmaster, who costs 500 gems or 250 gems. And if you think I got the Ringmaster, then you are wrong. So, yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. I did get 250 gems, so I will use those accordingly. Hopefully I can use those to get the next premium character that comes out for Star Wars. I assume it will be 300 gems most likely to get BB-8. So I'm looking forward to getting BB-8 using those gems. What about you? Did you get anything in the Christmas chest?
I had all of the attractions and all the characters, so I got the 250 gems.
Okay, good. And for someone who has everything, that's a nice bonus.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yes. Yeah.
So... Well,
I'm sorry you didn't get Ringmaster. You've been talking about that for a long time.
I have. I wasn't expecting the change to the chests. Maybe I'll just have to treat myself to the bundle. 500 gems is a big pill to swallow for him.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot of gems. Mm-hmm. I think I bought the bundle when it popped up.
The bundle is the most likely way to go with him. I was just holding off on the bundle because I just thought I would get him for free.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I might just have to go ahead and pull the trigger on that, because I don't like having a character missing.
I know, that's how I am too.
Yeah.
The Bride is the only one I don't have, which is another sore topic.
Yeah, we've talked about the Bride enough, so.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, how many Sapphire chests did you open for the Bride, roughly?
I don't know how many chests, but I spent over $50, I think, trying to get her, and did not. So I had to give up at some point and just be like, I don't know how much longer this is going to go on. I need to stop spending money on this.
Yeah. Yep. I understand. So I'm sorry you didn't get her.
Yeah. I wish I had, but that's okay.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll make her available again at some point.
Yes, they will. I have confidence that they will at some point bring her back. I mean, again, it's purely speculation, but I feel like every character at some point has made their way back into the kingdom, in some way, shape, or form. So I can't imagine that the bride is that's the last we've seen of her.
Yeah.
And it would be weird just to have one character in one collection that just kind of does nothing. So they're going to find ways to use her, and they're going to make ways for her to come back. I have a good feeling. So just hold your breath, and eventually she'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some amazing, amazing things that changed in the game, and then we'll get into the Star Wars content. And it's what they called the quality of life updates. And the quality of life updates that they did had to do with sending people to and from home. So I guess a question I have for you, because I was very surprised at Daniel's answer last week, is do you have characters home, or do you have everyone out and collecting?
I have characters home. Right now I have actually more characters home than I have in the kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use it because I only log on a certain amount of time. I'm trying to get the tokens, and it's like when you're trying to go through 200 and however many characters, I don't have that amount of time when I log on. So I try to just focus on who's collecting tokens, or events, or the trophies or whatever.
Absolutely. I totally am the same way. I don't have the time to cycle through 200 characters when I log in. It also, I felt took a toll on me and made, kind of gave me like fatigue.
Yes.
So only having, 50 characters or so to cycle through feels a lot better to me. And
I know it's also not helping my magic production as much as if I was putting sending everyone on 6-hour quests or whatever every time I logged in. But like you said, it's too much, and you got to figure out what you want to focus on.
Yep, absolutely. For newer players, who don't have many characters, it's not worth it. But once you get to this point, so managing home was always quite difficult and tedious. So they made some changes to the thing. Now, one of the things that they did was when you had characters home, if a character dropped tokens, so when you looked at the home screen, the first characters that you would see are the lowest level characters. And as you scroll to the left, the characters go up in level, right? And then I don't know what the random order that they have them in at the level is. Never quite figured out the ordering for that. But that's how it goes. When you leveled someone up and they then needed tokens and you went back to the home screen, the characters who needed tokens would be right at the front of the line. So you could easily just welcome them all back. The one thing, though, is that they never displayed if they dropped event currency. So one of the things that always happened at the beginning of the event for people who have people at home is that you would have to go and, another big problem is, like, at the beginning of an event, you click on your characters to clear them out, and you have enough event currency to level the first guy, so you can't just, see who drops event currency. So you're scrambling online, you're trying to figure out who would I have to bring back to the kingdom. It's a big pain.
Yeah.
So they've just introduced the feature now where you can go into the kingdom at home, and you can click on a button and it will bring back everyone, it will check everyone who can drop event currency, and you just click it once and you return them to the kingdom, and everyone there returns to the kingdom. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
I did it at the beginning of this event, and it was just really, really great. Did you use this feature? What do you think about this?
I did. Yeah, I did use it. It had that little black icon next to him, and I returned all those. Yeah, that was really helpful. I'm really glad they did that.
Absolutely.
Because I'd always have to go to the groups and be like, who's dropping? Look at the posts. Who's dropping the currency? So.
And I've definitely had events where at the end of the event, I brought someone back from home, and I'm like, oh, this person dropped EC. I had them at home the whole time, because I just missed someone.
Yeah.
So I really like that. So there's two little check boxes at the top. There's drops event currency, which we just talked about, and then of course drops tokens. Another nice thing you can do now is, like, when you level someone up, you can go to home and you can go to the manage page, and then you can just check drops tokens. So all the people now that you have that were home that can collect tokens, you just click one box, you welcome them back to, it will welcome everyone back to your kingdom who can collect tokens for you. Another huge, big time saver. Have you used that part of the feature yet?
I don't think I did. I have some characters that drop the Pixar balls only in the home still, because I feel like those are never ending. And so and I'm not enchanting those buildings really, because I don't need those tokens anymore.
Sure.
So I just am sick of seeing the Pixar balls. So I sent the characters that only collect the Pixar balls. I sent some of them home.
Okay.
So yeah.
So anyway, they are fantastic features. I really, really love them. I'm really, it was a big change to it. So, as part of this, we said you can now manage multiple characters in the home feature at once and remove multiple characters at the same time. So it's really much more intuitive. So that has been really good. Another thing which has been really, really good, it's definitely tied into this, are wishes. So previously, if you had people at home, what I would do, going back a few months, is all the people that had wishes that could grant them or whatever, I would just keep out in the kingdom, even though they weren't doing anything. So like Mulan, Li Shang, Daisy Duck, Minnie Mouse, the Mad Hatter, Mushu, the March Hare, all those people, that would collect tokens. I would just keep them in the kingdom, and it would just be more people in the kingdom that I didn't really want there. So when you send them home, what you'd have to do is, you open your game, they're all walking down Main Street. You see, okay, Rex needs to grant a wish. So you click on Rex, it brings you to your home screen, you have to tap on Rex, you welcome him home, go back, tap on the wish again, it was like a whole bunch of clicks and back. So the new way that it goes is that you just tap on someone and it says, this character's at home. Would you like to welcome him into the kingdom and grant the wish? You just say yes. The character just appears. You're right on their screen, and all you have to do is click the quest, and the activity, and that's it. So much better.
I love it. Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's just an amazing feature. Very well done and well implemented. Honestly, I think that they could have even gone a step farther, where if you had them at home, like let's say you had the Mad Hatter at home, and you click on his thing, it could have just said, do you want to welcome this character back and do the wish activity? You know what I mean? So that you didn't even have to click on the wish activity. You know what I mean? Like, you could have even just saved one click. Because one of the things about that, too, is that it takes you to the part of the kingdom where that character is. And then you have to click on the activity, and then you have to scroll all the way back to Main Street. Right? And then and then look for other people that have wishes and kind of do the same thing. Where if you just could stay on Main Street and click and say, yes, I want this character to do with their wish activity, and you just kind of can click through that would kind of save time as well, right?
Yeah, I agree.
There's your feature report. Starting out with feature report early again. This is 2 episodes in a row. But I think that would just save a little bit more time, right?
Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah.
And then one other quality of life update, which I didn't mention last time, which I found out, which I love, is that the rewards for having people at home are now able to be collected hourly.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah. So nice.
Tell me about your thoughts on that.
I love it. Yeah, because I would log in more than every 12 hours, but so you just wouldn't collect. And then say I logged in twice a day, every 8 hours. If I didn't, if it wasn't ready, it would become ready and it would just sit there. and not generate any more magic. So it's nice now. When I log in, I can just collect it, and then it continues to accumulate until the next time you log in. I really like it.
Yes, I totally agree. You missed that 12-hour, cycle, and, it just feels bad. It feels like you're missing out.
Yeah, you
So
feel like you're not getting all the magic you could be.
right, exactly. And when you have characters at home, you're already taking a big hit on your magic production to begin with. So the ability to collect it hourly, it still caps at 24 hours, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact you collect it hourly makes a really big difference for every player, whether you're a 2-hour player, an 8-hour player, however it is.
Yeah, and it's nice to see, like, because like I said, I had been having a lot of nausea. There were some days I couldn't go into work, and I was playing my game more often than I normally do, and it was nice to see, like, oh, I'm collecting 2,000 magic, whereas if I logged in a little longer, I might collect 10,000. So it was nice to see, like, that number,
Yeah.
every
No,
time you logged in to see.
yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that it might even be a decent idea to do that for your Thrill Zone reward, because that's also one of those 12-hour rewards as well.
Yep.
But
Do
cool.
you have that on level 3 already?
No, I bet you if I did a whole bunch of kingdom rearranging, that I might be able to get it to 3. Like, because I have a bunch of enchanted stuff kind of scattered all around my kingdom.
Yeah.
But it would totally ruin the thematics of my kingdom, like all of my groupings and everything. It would be just a giant mishmash of stuff. So for the extra magic production that I don't feel I really need right now,
Mhm.
I feel like I'd rather have the design integrity of my kingdom kept the way it is for now.
Yeah. I that's exactly where I'm at. I'm like, I don't want to rearrange all of this because I worked so hard to arrange it that way in the first place.
Right.
So yeah, I know. There's
Another.
a lot, I'm realizing there's a lot of things that I could do to get more magic in this game, and I just don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No. I totally hear you.
yeah, I like the visual, like having everything together, and yeah. So
Another feature we've talked about on previous shows, feature update again, a feature report is the ability to have multiple kingdom layouts, to be able to save a layout, and then like as like kingdom normal, and then have another layout where you can design your kingdom and have like thrill zone max, or whatever, and with like one click of a button you can just you know have your kingdom rearranged into a
mhm,
different way that you'd like it.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, because I think it would promote more kingdom editing. Like if I could do that, if I know that like I could just wipe my kingdom away and build a new kingdom or start working on it, and then when I'm done working on it for, I spend an hour, I can just go back and put my kingdom to the way it was and the other one would be saved.
Right.
It would be nice. I would do more with the actual building of the kingdom than I do now.
Yeah, especially because it takes such a long time to rebuild, to move anything, because you have to find, what fits. And so it's definitely like you need to have an hour or two to sit there and
I think more
break.
than that. I think
Yeah.
when I last time I rearranged my kingdom, I think it took me over 4 hours
Yeah.
of
So
time.
it's just too time consuming
Yeah,
to start it. You need to have that chunk of time. So if you could have those you know, um, different ones saved, like you're talking about, that would be really cool.
yeah. Okay, great. Well, that's it. We've had talked about a lot. We've been going for a while, and it's been a really great show and a lot of great content so far. Now let's move into what everyone wants to hear about: a galaxy far, far away.
Mhm.
So this is the new Star Wars event. The last episode that we had, it was like literally day one of the event. So we didn't have much to talk about. So let's talk about what we have here. The event is on now, and it runs through January 14th. There is quite a bunch of stuff in that is available. Lots of characters, as we talked about. Right now, Finn and Poe are available with the First Order Stormtrooper as the premium content. And then also C-3PO and R2-D2 are the new permanent content that were available with this as well. There are 4 attractions as part of this event. There's the Katina and the Resistance Speeders, which are available now as part of the event. And the Tread Speeder Base and Resistance X-Wing will be available, I guess, tomorrow. And the Resistance X-Wing will be premium. So we'll have that. Other things that are as part of this, we have the Star Wars float. That's really cool looking with the Millennium Falcon. We have the blue and the red lightsaber stands that are available in concession and cobalt chests. And then, of course, the Star Wars Gold Trophy for events that are going on. All right, so there are some bundles that are available for the game right now for this event. The first one we talked about last week, which is the R2-D2 bundle. It was $3.99 for R2-D2, and you got 40 gems with him, and then of course 12 gems for completing the collection row. So did you get the R2-D2 bundle?
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Very nice. And what's your thoughts on those little droid?
He's cute. So I have to admit that I've not seen much Star Wars. So originally when they announced Star Wars, I wasn't like super excited, except that I always love getting new characters and new stuff in the game. But I'm actually really, really enjoying all of this content. I think everything looks really cute. R2-D2 is adorable. I like him.
Yeah, I think that the designers of this game knew that there are going to be a lot of people like you that are unfamiliar with the content, and it makes sense. It's been a little while, but not too long for Disney fans to have absorbed Star Wars into their stuff, and it's a lot different. It's a lot different stuff. Seeing stormtroopers with blasters running around your kingdom. It does have a different feel to it, and I have a feeling that when the event is over, a lot of people are going to be putting these characters away to just kind of, I don't know. I just have a feeling that's going to happen. But they did make the content and they made the storyline fun and accessible to all players, even ones who haven't seen the movies yet. That being said, I will tell you, go see the movies because they're awesome. But I'm actually going tomorrow I have not seen the most recent one yet, Rise of the Skywalker. I'm going tomorrow with my brother-in-law. We go to every Star Wars movie together. So I'm excited. We'll be tomorrow at lunchtime. I will be watching that.
Yay. I know a lot of people have been really excited about it. So
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, so let's move on. So what else is available? The event currency bundle, a.k.a. the regular bundle. It is 80 gems and 2,500 event currency for $3.99. Did you bite on that one?
I did not yet. I mean, I think I'm doing, pretty good on currency. The only reason I'd buy it is if I needed event currency. I'm just waiting to see if I need it. Yeah.
I agree. I did not buy it. I would only use it in an emergency type of situation to kind of, bail me out a little bit.
And I got my 250 gems in that chest, so I don't really feel like I need to spend money on 80 gems right now. So
yeah, there you go. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Okay. What else? So there is the Cantina Enchantment Bundle, and the Enchantment Bundle as well for the Resistance Speeders if you've purchased that. So the Cantina Enchantment Bundle is 20 common blueprints, 15 Star Wars relics, 10 kyber crystals, and 20 gems. So basically everything you need to enchant a plus 20 gems, and that's $3.99 as well. So did you get the enchantment bundle?
I did. I got both of them actually.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So you got that, and then you got the so obviously you purchased the resistance speeders as well.
Yes.
That was what were they? Was it? Oh no, that wasn't premium. That wasn't.
No, that was
just part of the storyline, right?
Yeah.
So okay, good. So you bought both of them. So they're both enchanted to level 1 now. So what are the? Let's see what the bonuses are. You get Poe ears from the Cantina for level 1, and what do you get from resistance speeders at level 1?
You get is it his helmet? I think it's Poe's helmet.
Poe's helmet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. That's very cool.
I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's called, but
yeah, no, the pilot helmet, I think.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So that's cool. So you got things nice and enchanted.
Yes.
There was also a parade bundle. It was the Star Wars float, a cobalt chest, and 20 gems for $1.99. Did you get the parade bundle?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Awesome. The Star Wars float is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I have that leading my parade every time. I really love it. There's a couple of really great floats they've done lately, and I really enjoy watching the floats go around now. Well, when I first started playing, a lot of the floats were kind of bland. I feel like they've really stepped it up as far as those.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the First Order Stormtrooper bundle. There was the First Order Stormtrooper concession chest, and that was $3.99. Did you buy the bundle?
I did.
Awesome. You have definitely taken this to the next level. You've gone full light speed into the event.
I have.
He's pretty cool. He gets a lot of work done.
Yes, he's really useful. Really useful. Yeah.
And he does 4-hour quests as well, so that kind of works well with your timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because I only have time to log in 2 or 3 times a day, I end up just buying a lot of the premium content because I don't have as much time to send the characters out that are that you can get through the game without purchasing. So
Sure.
usually just buy the premiums. So it helps me get through all the events without worrying.
Yeah, sure. I tried to just use the gems because I'm really at the point right now where my gems I don't really use for much.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to save them for premium content as much as I can. But I'm very, very low on gems now. So I feel like I might need to start buying some content.
Yeah, I tend to gem sometimes, tasks or, if it's like a 4 gem, like an hour and I want to get the token or something, I tend to use my gems like that. And it's probably not the best use of gems, but yeah, it works for me, I guess.
Yeah, no, I definitely gem things here and there. Like a lot of times, like if I have like 20 minutes left on a timer and I know I'm not going to be able to like check back for like another 3 or 4 hours, like I'll be like, all right, fine, and just gem it out. Like, or especially if it's like a level, like someone finishing leveling, so I can like level them and get someone else going.
Right.
But for the most part, I really try to be as conservative as I can, and then try to save them for premium content.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I have. Now I'm curious, how many gems do I have? I have 665. I guess because I just got that 250, so that really helped.
I'm at 480 with that 250.
So that will give me enough to get BB-8, and most likely BB-8 will probably be 300 gems, and then the X-wing I think is going to be 150 gems, so that's 450. So that gives me plenty of buffer room. So hopefully, I won't have to purchase anything, and then that will give me more than enough gems that if I need to do stuff, I'll have them.
Perfect.
But cool. Awesome. I'm glad you have all this content. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. That's important.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So let's talk about the event itself. So we have the main storyline, which was that we welcome Finn to the kingdom, and then once we welcomed him, he had to go out and do a quest, and then we had to build the cantina. The cantina is a very nostalgic and important place in Star Wars history. I definitely suggest you watch the first Star Wars, which is Episode 4. You'll learn a little bit more about the cantina then, if you haven't watched it already. Once that's built, you would send Finn out again, and then it was time to welcome Poe, everyone's favorite pilot. So up to this point, Finn's tokens were common. Katina built pretty quickly. I felt like it was a pretty smooth start to the event. What do you think on that?
Yeah, it seemed like, everything was sort of I was able to do most things, like welcome Finn in the first day, I think, that he was available. So that was, I thought everything was going along really smoothly, like pacing wise.
Yep. And then once you had that, then it was time to welcome Poe. Now Poe had a common helmet, but his ears were uncommon, and the tasks to welcome Poe were longer for your characters typically. So he took a little bit longer to welcome. Did you have any problems with him? Some people are saying they had some trouble with his ears.
No, I didn't. I think I got him on the second day that he was available. I didn't feel like I had an issue with him, but you're right. It just took a little longer because the tasks were longer.
Yeah, the task definitely took longer. You needed a little bit more stuff, but I felt like it was pretty. I wasn't expecting to get him any faster than I did, so I wasn't like sitting there like, oh, this is taking forever. I felt like it was well paced on that as well.
I feel like the longer I've played this game, I realize like they are pacing the events so much better now than some of the early events or maybe it was also just because I was a newer player, but I don't feel stressed in the events now. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to get this character and then I'm going to probably have plenty of time before the next thing unlocks. And so I feel like the pacing they're doing is really good. And probably for some of the newer players, really helpful that they're doing some of the slower pacing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that the pacing, they've learned a lot from it, and I also feel like they've changed it. But I also think that it's the fact that you're a more experienced player, and you have a lot more stuff, and it's just it becomes easier.
It does.
So
because those first events, I was stressed, thinking I wasn't going to get everything, and so I see a lot of new players, in that situation now, and it does get better the longer you play.
Yes. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Okay, so once we got that done, and Poe was welcomed, it would build the tread speeder base. So that was pretty just a normal build, and yet another cool thing to have. And then you had another part of the event, which was to scrap 4 interrogation droids, aka battle droids, everyone's favorite type of event. You needed 2 EMP and 1 fusion cutters. So Finn or Poe could clear them. It'd take 2 minutes. There was only a couple of characters that could collect these tokens, and they took a little while to collect. They weren't quick by any means, but I felt like they went pretty well. What about you? Did any problems with the battle droids?
No, I thought they went pretty smoothly too. Sometimes those can be challenging. I think I ended up clearing that in maybe 2 days, the second day. So yeah, it was pretty good. I think I might have bought a chest too, or with the 40 gems. Were some of those in the cobalt chest?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yep.
Yes, I think I got a couple parts out of the chest. I can't remember which. The little round, the little round
Things.
circles.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
EMPs and fusion cutters. So probably the EMPs.
Yeah, I think I got a couple of those out of the chest, so that helped a little bit too.
But if you have a better name for those, I'm always up for it because I never call them the correct things.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't know a lot of
What do you want to call those round glowing balls?
I don't know. They look like just kind of like a gray orb or something. I don't know.
They're now gray orbs. Officially, gray orbs. Around the kingdom, we'll refer to them as that for the rest of their time.
All right.
Okay.
Wish I had put a little more thought into it. But.
No, listen. I used to call during the crab event. I call those things the paper airplanes. I still don't remember what they are. I think they're crystals, but they look like paper airplanes. So they'll always be paper airplanes to me. All right. So then, after that's complete, you scrap the droids. You fight General Hux. And you have to defeat it or participate 9 times. Poe and Finn are 4 hour. They're all 4-hour tests. Poe and Finn are trying to defeat General Hux. And then, of course, the cool thing is that when you use the First Order Stormtrooper, you're fighting against Poe and Finn. So it's pretty cool to see like that you have characters from both sides as participating in this, and it's not just one bad guy that you have, which is pretty cool as well. So the fight was pretty cool. Any comments on that?
No, yeah. I mean, I think the graphics, everything's really cool. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that activity in the game or anything like that. So I thought it was neat. I like it.
Cool. All right. So after you do that, you have some more quests to do, and then it eventually comes to welcome General Hux, which is where we are right now. And General Hux, it will be available. Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow, right? It unlocks tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll have new content at Rope Drop tomorrow. So everyone get ready for that. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Check our group to see if Teal Avion has a speculation thread for General Hux. Typically at this point, you're going to have rare tokens, right? You've had commons, you've had uncommons. Usually at this point, it's going to be rare tokens. And rare tokens are usually 4, 6, or 8-hour quests. So my advice is to, tonight before you go to bed, set up your characters and have them out for, 4, 6, or 8 hours. Follow Teal's post if you can't get to it, because Teal's usually spot on with what quests you might need to do for who. And you can really get you ahead of time. You can start at Rope Drop, you can start and have, quite a few tokens. But those are typically the length of the ones you want. So I guess on the East Coast or the West Coast, what is it, at 7 a.m. is Rope Drop for you, right?
Yeah.
So you could set up overnight and you don't have to wait too long in the morning. See, for me, I wake up at around 6 in the morning and I have to wait till 10. So it stinks for me to have 4 hours where I'm trying to not click stuff.
Right.
So, but I suggest you set your guys up and hopefully set yourself for success. But again, check our group for Teal Avion's post. Usually has a great post related to that.
Yeah, I'll do that tonight too.
Okay, so one other thing to talk about, we had a side story. We had pointed out that Wreck-It Ralph would be helpers for this event. And so a side story started as soon as you welcomed Poe to your kingdom. And it was a cute little story of Ralph being Ralph and looking for Vanellope and all that fun stuff. Pretty easy, straightforward stuff if you have the characters. And it gives you a whole bunch of EC as rewards. I assume you have all the Wreck-It Ralph characters, so were you able to get your way through the side story?
Yeah, and I think it was earlier this month, I just maxed the whole group out. So that was really nice. So
yeah, nice. And here, honest question, did you actually read the side story?
No.
You just
I don't ever read the
Okay. That's all right. You're about 95% of the people would agree with you on that one.
Sometimes I'm like, I should probably read this, but
Are you
I'm just
reading? Are you reading
I
the story for the main event?
no, I don't
Okay.
read any of the story.
Okay. You know,
Yeah, I just
you,
like I get in, I like do what I need to do, and then yeah.
well, if you know what you can do, you can always watch Disney Girls videos because she always reads all the story for you, and
Okay.
she does cool voices along with it too.
All right. Yeah, I'll check that out.
All right, so that's it for where we're at the event so far. So why don't you give us a couple of your brief thoughts on pacing and where we're at, and anything that you think was great, anything you think could use improvement so far.
Yeah, I feel like the pacing for the first couple characters was really good. And then I kind of have been waiting to welcome General Hux for like 4 days. So it's kind of been a long wait for that for me. I know that that's really helpful for some of the newer players though, so I'm okay with it. I've just been collecting the tokens so that I have the other characters ready to level, if I need to. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I haven't. It's been nice to not feel stressed, especially over the week of Christmas, where you have family in town or you're traveling to see family, and you don't want to worry about like, are you gonna fall behind in the game? So that was actually really helpful to not have to worry about that this week and just sort of have done what I needed to get done. So I've been enjoying it so far.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the pacing's been great. I think that the content's been good. So far so good for me. Not much more to say.
Yeah. I
Uh,
like all the graphics. I like all the characters. And then I think that the rides look fun. I feel like, or the
yes.
speeder ride. Yeah. I feel like that would be a really fun ride. So,
Okay, so that's it for that. So level requirements, like I said, I would try to get everyone to about 4 right now. Um, just kind of as a safety zone for now at this point in the chapter, and then keep an eye on our group for some updates on level requirements. And then we already talked about like the different attractions and things they drop. If you want a list of all that, you can always check our group out. We have a list of what everything drops as well. So there were some mini events. There's 2 mini events that have happened in the event so far. We had Spooky Spiders, number 4. The Spooky Spiders started on December 21st and ended on the 24th for a 3-day event. This was spiders. They're pretty big black spiders. They
yeah.
spawned in groups of 8 every 2 hours. So there were a total of 288 spiders that you could have gotten in the event. And then the rewards for this on the leaderboard were, as we've talked about, happiness. Happiness starts the events out. It's been a trend now for happiness to be the leaderboard event to kind of get you into the game. So there was some happiness, some EC, and some magic for this. So as someone who doesn't log in on a 2-hour interval, how did you do on this one?
Not great. And it didn't make me want to log in more because it was happiness. I mean, the currency would have been nice, but yeah, I kind of just collected them every time I logged in. I can't even remember what I got, what rank I got from that one. But yeah, I didn't put a lot of time into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is great, especially for newer players.
Yeah.
That I mean, because you're fighting really hard to get all the way up to ecstatic. But I'm kind of able to maintain ecstatic pretty decently as a 2-hour player. But
Uh, it is a little tougher for me to maintain it, but I kind of every other day I do I don't know what it's called, the enchanting, or go to have Merlin cast the
oh,
spell.
right.
So I've been doing that. on the days where I know, like, okay, I'm really only going to be logging in twice today. If there's a day I'm going to be able to log in like 3 or 4 times, I might not enchant. But I usually will only drop into like, mid 90 of the the level under ecstatic. So I can get it back up pretty easily.
Sure.
So yeah, I feel like I'm spending a lot of elixir though. It adds up.
I would say so. I bet.
Yeah.
But
So
at this point, you probably have every attraction that you would need from Elixir, right? Like, it's not like you're saving it for anything.
I do need a couple of those attractions, but I
Really?
don't feel like they're dropping anything I need. I'm not in any hurry to get them, I guess.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So if they were dropping tokens or something that I needed, I probably would be trying to get them. But I think I have all the attractions that are dropping the tokens.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I finished rank 1,669. So I got 10 happiness, about 250 EC, and some magic too. Like you said, didn't make me want to log in anymore, just because of where I'm at in the game. But again, I think this is a great way for other players to start in the game.
For sure.
And now currently what's going on is Striking Gold. Striking Gold is the trophies event. The Star Wars Gold trophy is interestingly only available to the top 50. More recently, they've been giving out to like top 250. And we've been talking about how generous that has been. And while I did feel like it was a little too generous, top 50 is kind of hard to do.
It is.
So people are going to have to work pretty hard to get top 50 to get the Star Wars Gold trophy. But there's some really good rewards. You get the Star Wars Gold trophy. You get some cobalt chests and bronze chests as well. They're good rewards for getting up in those ranks. So there's definitely more incentive to log in and kind of work on these as well. Are you someone who really like wants to get gold trophies as a completionist? And if so, how do you manage that?
No, I'm not a completionist with those. I did get the trophies in the last couple events because, like you said, there were more spots. And actually, in some of the earlier events, I was able to get some of the trophies that were even like top 10 and stuff like that. But I was definitely trying to get them for the thrill zones because you need them.
You do.
Yeah, for the thrill zone. So if I have a day where I'm able to play, like, log in every 2 or 3 hours, which I have occasionally those kind of days, and this is going on, then I'll really try to log in and get the trophy. But like right now, there's just so much going on with Christmas and everything. It's not going to make me log in anymore because I know I'm not going to make top 50. So
Yeah. So I'm kind of hovering around 75.
Well, that's good.
Right now.
You could make it.
Yeah, I feel like if I can really just stay focused on every hour, or every other hour, trying to get in between now and when it ends, because it actually doesn't end tomorrow; it ends Saturday. At rope drop, so I just need to be a little bit more vigilant. Like I know it's crazy, but like when I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I normally would check and just kind of like slam out my the quests real quick, but like last night I didn't. I was like, nah, I'm not going to. I just want to go back to bed. So maybe tonight I'll once or twice kind of just try to do that to give me a little bit more of a boost. So the gold trophy. So here's something interesting that I wanted to point out too. Feature report again before we get there. So the gold trophy characters and attractions that drop it now are Vanellope, Ralph, Yes, Shank, Calhoun, Spamley, Fix-It Felix, Rex, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, R2-D2, Pluto, and then the Internet, which is a Wreck-It Ralph attraction, and BuzzTube, which is a Wreck-It Ralph attraction, Niceland, and Slaughter Race, and then Jumpin' Jellyfish. I think that they need to, the developers need to make gold trophies count as tokens, because when the tokens, like it would have been nice to have gone into the home selection screen and been able to just click on a button, and then anyone that was in at home that could collect gold trophies, you could send out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would be a great add-on feature.
Yeah, I don't think you even need to make a whole separate checkbox like drops gold trophies. I think you just need to make it so that they count as tokens and will show up when you do that. I think that would just really, you want to talk about quality of life, like that would really have made a big difference. Like it was before all the posts where people were starting to report what you needed, so I literally welcomed everyone back to the kingdom and went through player by player to see who dropped trophies. So that was not fun.
Yeah.
So this would just be a big quality of life improvement to do that as well. All right. So that's it for that stuff. Any comments on the side quests or on the mini events?
No, I mean, I'm assuming they'll have another trophy event at some point. I think they did on the last event, or not the Frozen event, but the one before that. I think they had 2 trophy.
Oh, for sure. I would be surprised if they didn't have 3.
Yeah, so there's a chance, maybe I'll get a good couple days where I can log in more often, and then I might give it more of a go. So I like the mini events, even if I don't place very high. It's like just a little added bonus of whatever they're giving, even if you're, rank 2000 or something, you're still getting something. Right. So I like them.
Do you like the Mickey events more than the mini events?
Mickey and Minnie?
I'm just preparing you for the Disney dad joke of the week. All right. Okay. So while we're making terrible dad jokes, here we go. So this one is Star Wars related. So Bree, do you know if BB is hungry?
I no.
Well, he's not because BB ate.
That's good.
Dum. You're welcome. May the force be with you, everyone. Okay, let's move on. All right, so we're going to move on into the feature report. Feature report. Get ready. You're going to be watching lots of Octonauts once you have that little one. So get ready for hearing that all the time at home. You're going to think of me and this show every time you watch the Octonauts. Trust me.
Okay. I don't know what that is. I'm sure I'll find out.
You will. You'll know exactly what the Octonauts is. Trust me.
Okay.
All right. So first one comes from MTS McClure of the Clan McClure. And it says, feature report. Not many people like the current way of displaying buildings ready to enchant. So I have an idea to make it better. What if Disney Magic Kingdoms made it so that when a building is ready to enchant, an image pops up on the top left-hand corner like it does when characters have finished their jobs? When you click on said image, a menu pops up showing you all the buildings that are ready to enchant and shows you how close you are to enchanting others. So I do like that. Mm-hmm. I think that the enchanting of buildings needs an overhaul. I say it every single episode. So what do you think would be a good way to go about the enchantment and the progression for that?
Yeah, I think something like this would actually work, where you have just like a button you could click on and you can see like everything that could be that's ready to be enchanted and what token you would be getting from doing that. Because I think this is like my biggest gripe in the game lately is just those icons and accidentally clicking on them all the time, especially trying to get those porgs. It's like really hard.
Yes.
So anything that they can do to get rid of those icons and make it more streamlined, I think is definitely something that I would be behind, because I think this could work, having a little button somewhere on the screen that you could click on. And then
Yeah, like an enchantment store,
yeah,
or something where you go through, you can see what's ready to enchant. Even like have it like filtered by like Mickey and Friends, Toy Story.
mhm,
Look at that, see what relics you have, see where you're at. Like so you can
yeah,
see like all these attractions are ready to go to one. All these attractions are at one and are ready to go to two.
mhm,
You know, and show
yeah,
you what you're gonna get. I also, as an add-on to this, or a compendium, or whatever you want to whatever you want to say, I think that they should a rider. Let's say that a rider to this. They should, when you click on something, if you hover over it, should show
mhm.
you what you get for each of the 5 levels of enchantment. So
That would be
because
great.
because because if I want to know if this I don't really care about token it's going to drop at level 1, but I
Right.
want to know if I need to enchant it to 1 to get to something I need at level 3. You
Yes.
know, and
And
I shouldn't have to rely on Facebook groups or
yeah,
Twitter or whatever to get that information.
agreed. I'm totally could be behind that for sure. Because I have to consult like the Google Docs, to see what's going to drop. And I actually created my own little document to try to track what do I need. Um, but yeah, it's just it's tough with the enchant when you have a lot of the characters already maxed. There's not an incentive to enchant a lot of the buildings, and then you're competing. You're getting a lot of Toy Story relics, which is going to drop tokens that you don't need. I'd rather get Nemo or Coco or some of the newer ones that I need those. And it's really hard to get them, especially when you're getting to like, third or fourth enchantment, you need like 50 relics. I mean, I just feel like all my characters are going to be maxed out in that group before I can even enchant the
Sure.
buildings. So I feel like there needs to be some kind of, this is another maybe feature they could do, but if you have a group max, it should lower the probability of getting those relics in some way.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of frustrating because you know that it's very helpful when you do have the buildings enchanted and you can get all the relic, or you can get the tokens from those. It really helps move the leveling up
Sure.
along.
Absolutely. I like the fact you can enchant stuff. It just needs a big overhaul.
Yeah, and I do feel like since the enchantments have started, you're getting less common tokens from everything. So like the buildings all used to drop, every building from a collection used to drop like the common token, right?
Yep.
And now you're getting less of those with his enchantments. And so for me, it's like collecting those, especially when you're at level 8 or 9 and you're trying to max someone, you need 100 common tokens. It's like,
Yes.
it's a lot of work to,
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, and especially if you're only logging in twice a day.
yeah. And I have like 3 or 4, I had 3 or 4 Big Hero 6 characters at 9 ready to go to 10, except I needed to collect like 300 common tokens. So I'm just like constantly collecting common tokens. So bringing those back for all of the attractions would be super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for that MTS, and thank you to all the McClures for being listeners. All right. So Joey G also wrote in a feature report. He had 2. So he read addendum to the visiting home screen. Add a trophy checkbox. So yeah, we already talked about that, and we agree. And also, for the love of R2D2, please have the characters in ABC order or character collection order, not this random order. So he's talking about when you go to the home screen and you see your characters. So Megan Elliott Brown had commented that she likes the idea, but she said they're in order of their level. I would prefer by collection though. So yes, when you look at the home screen, when you go there, and I'm going to do this as we speak so that I can at least be somewhat sound like I know what I'm talking about. You have your characters in order of their lowest to highest. So like I have like Fire Spirit, Honey Marin at 5, then Ryder at 6, Louis at 7, Bruce, Story 7. So I have all 7s, then 8s. But like it's like I don't understand what once you get to like the 8s, like I get to 9, right? Like okay, so now I'm at 9. Okay, so I have Nemo at 9, Nani at 9, then Flounder at 9, Triton, Carpet, Moana, Chip, Rabbit, Bonsai, Dr. Facilier, Maui. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're not even grouped by collection.
Mm-hmm.
They're not grouped in by alphabetically. They're not, like, what is the grouping
Mm-hmm.
once you're at level? Like, I'm okay with it being by level. But once you're at by level, it should be by
Some, yeah.
right, because like if I want to know like okay, I need everyone back from I want to bring everyone back from Moana. You know, like I should have to like see Moana and just be able to return and have everyone there. I shouldn't have to say, okay, Moana, now let me try to find. Oh, there's Maui. Okay, now let me try to find. Oh,
Right.
there's Chief Tui. You know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not intuitive, or it's not intuitive
Haha, X bonus joke.
at all. So I think that one, they should change it to be either more intuitive, or two, make it filterable. So how do you want it to be seen? Do you want it to be seen in alphabetical order? Do you want it to be seen by collection order? Do you know
Yeah,
give an option for the player to at least be able to do that?
that'd be good. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so that is it for the feature reports. Let's see if there's any quick in the comments before I move on. Stacy says the princess room drops gold trophies also.
Oh,
MTS McClure says that it does as well. Really? The,
I have that out. I guess I just didn't realize.
did I put mine away? I think I put mine away. I think I have my. Oh no, I do have it out. I do have it out. It does drop them as well. You're right. Well, I'm glad at least that I have it out and I've been collecting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thank you. It looks like Elliot Feldy says that Teal just posted. So check out that post in our group for Teal's predictions. They really always seem to get me ahead. So make sure you get that set as well. Okay, so we have one question from the group here, from the community. And it's from Elliot. Elliot says, when do you think we'll be getting more thrill zones? What do you think, Bree?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we should be getting some in the next couple months, but seem to be working on a lot of other things, so I just don't know what they're prioritizing.
So this is what I've been told directly from Disney Magic Kingdoms. And I've not been given a lot of information or specifics, but what I was told is that one of the big things that people always ask for is more land. And the response that they've given a lot is that one of the main reasons they don't give more land is because it actually causes performance issues for people with older, phones or tablets, having all those characters and animations out in the kingdom at once. They are currently implementing and working on continuing to implement improvements to the game on the back end of the game. So things you don't see specifically to help make those better.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get to a point, I think, where it's optimal or at least getting better, then I think, and that's what Disney Magic Games had to say. They're working on making that stuff better.
Okay.
And what I've heard from them. Now, what I'm saying is that I think that once it gets better, one, we'll probably get a little bit more land, but two, we'll also be able to probably get another thrill zone, because I think all that optimization is kind of part of the bigger picture for how this is going to work. Because eventually there's going to be 5 thrill zones because they have 5 of those bubbles out there, right? So it's coming.
Yeah.
I think that it could happen as early as first quarter next year. I think, maybe February we could see a second thrill zone. They already made the land restructured. So they're ready to go as far as space goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're ready to go as far as the players would need to get that stuff. So I think it could be coming soon. But
Yeah, that would be nice.
stay tuned for performance improvement. And I'm very happy Disney Magic Games is addressing all this stuff. So good for them. Okay. All right. So one more thing before we go. This has been a long show. One more thing before we go. Let's just do a quick look.
Cat, by the way, in the background.
I'm sorry.
Apologies for my cat meowing in the background.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just get a lightsaber and we'll take care of that. Boom. All right. So here we go. Kingdomers. It's lookout time. Event prep on the double. Prediction, tips, and strategies to keep you out of trouble. It's the lookout segment. And this is a segment where we, any predictions that we have or things to watch for in the game. I've said mine, but this is all you today, Bree. What do you think we have coming to Disney Magic Kingdoms in 2020? Some things to be on the lookout for.
I would be really excited if they did an Onward event in February. The new movie that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be really excited about that. So I'm hoping they do that. I also think they're going to be doing something with Mulan, maybe Tower Challenge or something like that. Let's see what else is happening in Disney or like the Disney universe next year. Yeah, I would love to have Brave, I think, as an event. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So this is the last show of 2019. So I'll participate in this too. So so let's see. So I just looked up something online here, because I'm not prepared for what's coming from Disney in 2020. So there are no Star Wars or Avengers films in 2020. Which surprises me because they seem to be putting out a Star Wars film every year.
Yeah.
So they'll take a year off. They're still going to be putting out spin-outs. Trust me, they're not going to stop making Star Wars films. There are 2 Marvel films, a Black Widow, which is with Scarlett Johansson, and Eternals with Angelina Jolie. I don't think either of those I could see coming to our universe. There is Mulan, which we definitely will see. There's Onward and Soul. There's the Jungle Cruise, which is the film based on the Jungle Cruise ride. Yeah, with Emily Blunt and The Rock.
Yeah.
Now, I think you could still have The Rock in, even though he's Maui. I think you could still have him in as someone else. They can do that, but that's definitely a possibility for that. Let's see, what else do they have going on? So that's really all I could see right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of a quieter year from Disney, so definitely expect stuff from what we've discussed here.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. Anything else from you before we wrap up today?
No, thank you so much for having me on. It was really fun, and I love the show. So
awesome. All right. Well, we had no new 5-star ratings, so if you get a chance, please do that, and no new 5-star reviews since we last talked. Do you have any shout-outs to give, Bree?
I don't know anyone else that plays this game, except for the online communities, which is why I'm like to be a part of it. But yeah, to my hubby, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, awesome. Big shout outs go to everyone, of course, that's in the audience today. MTS, Stacy, Elliot, Maribel. Thank you for joining the live stream. Lanita's always here. Hillary's joining us today. Steve Perez. Everyone who's been here, appreciate it. Shout out to the admin team for Around the Kingdoms Facebook group. You guys are the best. so really just really taking the time to help and make the community better and make my life a little bit easier. So thank you to all of the amazing ATK moderators. Next week's show will be most likely either Tuesday or Thursday. Stay tuned. I will post online what day it will be. Again, it will not be Tuesday. That's New Year's Eve. So might be Wednesday night actually, because I do not have any obligations on New Year's Day. So stay tuned. We'll let you know. Maybe we'll kick off the new year on the first day of 2020 with a new show. Stick to our Twitter and our Facebook pages for more information, and you'll find out then who our special guest will be then. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. Link to our group will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. We're now on YouTube. If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, please head on over and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. Also, we have a Discord channel, so don't forget to join us there as well if you want to chat. If you want to help support the show, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. Listening to the show is all we can ask for, but if you do want to help support the show in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. This is a great way that you could show your support for about $1 an episode. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thank you so much again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel. For me and Bree, we hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next year. Bye, everyone.